Yeah, this one is for every woman trying to hold herself together.
Hello
For mother
guys,
praying
it's Golden
silently
here.
at night.
Have you ever
For
noticed
sisters minding
that
their
there
own
are some
business while
experiences
covering
in
up
life that
lies?
completely divide your life into two different parts,
Welcome
before
to the
and
amazing
after?
golden lifestyle. I
And
remember
for
nights
some
when I
people,
would feel
it's losing a loved
overwhelmed with
one.
my own
For
life
some,
pressure.
it's
People
getting
say smile,
married.
but they
For
don't
some,
really know.
it's moving to a
Life is
different
sweet,
country.
life for so.
But for
Life no
almost
easy, I no
every
go lie.
parent,
Sometimes you laugh,
one of the
sometimes you
biggest
cry.
life-changing moments
Sometimes the
is
people
the
where you
day a
love no
child
go feeling how you
enters their
feeling deep
life.
inside.
Because the
But
truth
life
is,
ain't
once you
comparing.
become a
Still
mother
carry
or a
my
father,
children,
especially
still
a
carry my
mother,
children
you
with me.
can never
Who say
ever
better
go
go
back
surely
to
come.
being
I
who
need that strength to
you were
keep
before.
going. Sometimes
Never.
strength na
And
silent tears.
that's
Sometimes strength
what
na
we are
putting
talking
food
about
where your
today.
whole world dey
Not in a
finish.
sad way, not in a negative way,
And if you dey
just the
feel
honest truth
for
about
night,
parenthood
know say
that
you
every
dey
parent
alright. No
understands.
matter wetin
Because
dem
once you
talk,
give birth
don't
to a
lose
child
yourself,
as
try
a
to
woman,
survive. This na
your
pain,
life changes forever. And there is no
no be
reverse
fight.
button.
We dey
There is
rise
no
up
going
every
back
night.
from that.
Shine
No
your
matter how old
light na.
your child becomes, no matter where they live, no matter how independent they are, you remain a parent
We still
for
thank
the
God.
rest of your life. And if you're a parent watching this video, I think you would relate to every word I'm about to say. But before children, you worry about yourself. After children, you worry about someone else every single day. When they are sleeping, even when they are not with you, even when they are grown, even when they have children of their own, the worry never completely stops. And that's one of the biggest changes parenthood brings before children. Your decision mostly affects you. After children, almost every decision involves them. You think differently, you plan differently, you spend differently, you dream differently. Like everything, literally everything changes. You know something funny? Many people think having children simply means adding another person to the family. But that's not really what happens. What actually happens is that an entirely new version of you is born. The day your child is born, a mother is born, a father is born, a new identity enters the world, and that identity never leaves. You may change jobs, you may move houses, you may gain money, you may lose money, but you never stop being somebody's parent, ever. I think that's one of the most beautiful and terrifying things about parenthood because it is permanent. There are things in life you can quit. You can quit a job, you can leave a business, you can move away from a city, but you can never resign from being a parent. It's a lifetime appointment, and nobody fully prepares you for that. I remember how carefree life can feel before children. You can decide to travel tomorrow, you can spend money without thinking too much, you can take risk more easily, but you can be spontaneous. Then children arise, and suddenly your brain changes. You start thinking ahead, you start calculating, you start preparing, you start asking questions like, what will happen to my children if something happens to me? Are they safe? Are they healthy? Are they happy? Am I doing enough? And if you are doing your best, and if we are being honest, most parents spend years wondering if they are doing enough. Because parenthood comes with a responsibility that can feel overwhelming. You are raising a human being, not a project, not a business, not an object. A human being, a real life human being, a person who will eventually go out into the world and interact with others, a person who will carry lessons they have learned from you. That's a huge responsibility, if you ask me. And that responsibility changes people entirely. One thing I don't think people talk about enough is the sacrifices. Not because parents want pity, but because it's a reality. Parents sacrifice sleep, parents sacrifice time, parents sacrifice comfort, parents sacrifice opportunity, parents sacrifice peace of mind. Oh, Sometimes they sacrifice dreams. Sometimes they sacrifice things nobody ever sees. The child may never know, the world may never know, but the parent knows. And that's why so many parents become emotional when they look at their children because they remember everything: the sleepless nights, the financial struggles, the prayers, the fears, the sacrifices, the moments they thought they couldn't continue but somehow did. A child changes the way you see the world. Have you noticed that? Before children, you notice certain things. After children, you notice completely different things. You start paying attention to safety, you start paying attention to schools, you start paying attention to healthcare, you start paying attention to things that never crossed your mind before. Suddenly, the world doesn't revolve around you anymore. And that's a huge transformation, if you ask me. I think that's why many parents say they finally understood their own parents after having children. Because certain things don't make sense until you become responsible for another human being. Then suddenly you understand. You understand why your mother was worried. You understand why your father was strict. You understand why they made sacrifices. You understand why they stayed awake at night because now you are doing the exact same thing. And that's when a lot of people gain a new level of respect for parents. Another thing that changes forever is your heart. Parents become vulnerable in ways they never expected. A child can make you laugh harder than anyone else. A child can make you cry harder than anyone else. A child can make you proud beyond words. A child can break your heart in ways you will never understand. That's the reality of loving someone that deeply. The love is beautiful, but it also makes you vulnerable. Because once you love someone that much, their happiness matters to you, their pain hurts you, the struggles affect you, their victories become your victories. And that's why parenthood changes people forever. I don't care how tough someone is, I don't care how strong they appear. Most parents become softer in certain ways after having children because children have a way of touching parts of your heart that nobody else can reach. And then there is the fear that comes with parenthood, the fear of something happening to your child, the fear of making mistakes, the fear of not providing enough, the fear of not getting everything right. Every parent has felt it because there is no manual that guarantees perfect parenting. Most parents are figuring things out as they go, learning, adjusting, praying, trying again, doing their best with what they know. And that's something children often understand better when they become adults themselves. Because one day they realize my parents were humans too. They didn't know everything, they weren't perfect, they were just trying. And maybe that's one of the biggest lessons of parenthood. It teaches humility. Because children will humble you, they will teach you patience, they will teach you selflessness, they will teach you sacrifices, they will teach you unconditional love. And those lessons stay with you forever. The truth is that once you become a parent, a mother especially, your life is no longer just yours. A piece of your heart now belongs to someone else. And that never changes. Your child can be 5 years old, 15 years old, 30 years old, 55 years old. You will still worry. You will still care. You will still pray for them. You will still want the best for them. That's why people in their 70s and 80s still worry about their grown children because parenthood doesn't expire. The job description changes, but the love remains, the concern remains, the connection remains. And that's why becoming a parent is one of the most life changing experiences a person can ever have. You cannot go back, you cannot undo it. You cannot wake up one morning and say you no longer want to be a parent. You cannot return to the version of yourself that existed before. That person is gone. In their places stands somebody stronger, softer, wiser, more patient, more emotional, more responsible, and sometimes more exhausted, but also more capable of a kind of love that is difficult to describe. So, if you're a parent watching this today, I want you to know something. The changes you have experienced are normal. The worries, the sacrifices, the sleepless nights, the constant concern, the overwhelming love. That's all part of the journey. Because once you give birth to a child, once you become a mother, once you become a father, you can never remain the same. And maybe that's not something to be afraid of. Maybe that's one of life's greatest gifts. Because through our children, we often discover parts of ourselves we never knew existed. This is the true and real joy of parenthood. It's not it's not what anybody can explain to you. Like you have to experience it yourself to truly understand the feeling, how it feels like. Whew. I had so much joy filming this particular topic. Like it was such a joy for me to do this. Um, because being a parent myself is one of the best gifts that life has given me, and I am truly and honestly grateful for that opportunity every single day. I will not trade it for anything else. Guys, I know you enjoyed this video like I did. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Turn your post notification buttons to be notified every time I post a new video. Click on the like button to give this video a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, your family, your enemies, even now, whoever that you think that needs to see this video. Bye for now, and I will see you in my next video.